apparently one of the incidents happened right here on this popular running path. You can't even talk about what kind of person your son is. The freezing rain is picking back up and I can feel some ice pellets hitting me as things are starting to freeze. He told me that he plans on hiring all of Rodney Alexander's staff that remain neutral during the election. Bambi to bad guys. According to Monroe police, locals have been using game cameras to catch home burglaries in progress. As you can see, this is about a 12-year-old car that they use, and the paint's chipped, the bumper's broken. A two-car collision led to the car right behind me bursting into flame. Congratulations, Vance. I don't know if you know this yet, but you are the newest 5th Congressional District Rep. Vance, how does it feel? About 840 adjudicated properties that the police juries held, some of them for over 20 years, and now they've made it a little bit easier to acquire these properties. A colorful and creative display lined the old Mississippi Bridge in Vicksburg today, and it's all for a good cause. School also says the situation is still under investigation and that 5-day suspension could be reduced. Well, Jenna, it was a terrible scene here as a two-car collision led to the car right behind me bursting into flames, according to witnesses. It all happened around 5:30 this evening on Richwood Road number 2 in Richwood. Police investigators say both cars were driving at a high rate of speed when one car hit the other from behind. Right now, deputies believe each vehicle had one person in it. One driver is being treated at Glenwood Regional Medical Center with moderate injuries, and the second driver died on scene. Investigators haven't released the names or ages of the two involved, and at this point they don't know how the crash happened, and alcohol does seem to be a factor. Live in Richwood, Hilary Hunt, KNOE 8 News.
Now, Hilary, you say alcohol suspected. Are there any charges yet filed?
Well, I just spoke to one of the sheriff's deputies, and they said as of right now the surviving driver will be charged with vehicular manslaughter.
Okay, thanks.
Are you Sherry?
Yes, I am.
Is your son Chris Nixon?
I don't have a comment.
We spoke with Chris Nixon's mother, Sherry Nixon, who is overwhelmed with the developments over the past 24 hours. Her 20-year-old son has been arrested on federal charges of production of child pornography.
Hard enough for her to deal with this.
It's really hard for me to deal with this right now.
Well, can you just tell us that? I mean, I'm sure you never expected anything like this.
I never expected it.
But Sherry Nixon isn't the only one in disbelief. Tina Goit worked with Sherry and knows the family. She finds the news to be shocking.
It's very surprising. I mean, I would have never imagined this, could be happening. But I'm gonna pray for his family and pray for him too,
Now investigators say Nixon was arrested last night at a home near Jonesboro after Homeland Security investigators received nearly 50 tips from the public on their tip line after showing pictures of a man they called John Doe. Nixon appeared in Shreveport federal court today in connection with the production of child pornography charges. And in the small town of Quitman, word has traveled fast.
So much goes on in the world that you just sometimes ignore all the bad that happens until it hits home, So just kind of very, very sad.
And it's a situation that leaves his mother, Sherry Nixon, in tears.
Please.
Nothing, you can't even talk about what kind of person your son is?
Just get my dog in the house and let me go lay down.
It's a business that happens behind closed doors.
No, I'm from Mississippi, but I work in Texas, right here.
But in this case, the eyes of the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office are watching.
I'll set up pages on several different websites, and then their phone will just constantly call. I mean, as long as you got the demand out there, the supply is going to be there.
Prostitution. It's a crime that the Street Crimes Apprehension Team, or SCAT, targets with undercover operations about every 2 months. They target the seekers and the providers.
Hey, Matt, what's the case number?
No, I'm not in Kansas.
You're going to get confiscated and all that.
Well, not the
1361?
My dad's a preacher. I can't do that. He doesn't know this. I can't.
They set up hidden cameras in a hotel room to catch the deal as the team waits on the other side to make an arrest. But it's like any other undercover operation. Safety is at the top of their list.
The only danger for the officers involved. When you enter the room, you don't know who you're going to encounter. There's also danger for the people who we do arrest and or the prostitutes or the Johns that we come in contact with. There have been recent operations where one of the Johns that we arrested had a loaded gun in his jacket, and he was arrested without incident. But that just kind of highlights one of the dangers that we come across.
In most cases, the prostitutes will go to jail to ensure that the deputy's operation remains under wraps, while the Johns will be issued a summons, putting them in front of a judge. With every sting, the team learns more about the secrets of this business.
Trying to get their product from point A to point B, they change their trends to be able to do that. And the escorts are doing the same thing as far as trying to deter from being caught by the police. They're always changing their tactic to try to better protect themselves from arrest.
The team switches locations and sources every sting, and with every bust, they feel they're eliminating more than just the crime of prostitution. According to Sheriff Jay Russell, it's a crime intertwined with many others.
What it brings with it usually is narcotics and other drugs and other crimes, not just prostitution. So we try to target that, to try to move those individuals, let them know that it's not going to be acceptable here, that you're not going to just come to Ouachita Parish and conduct business in this manner.
And if you do, you will get busted.
And witnessing the family's first trip to Capitol Hill. Hilary.
Vance McAllister is officially Congressman McAllister after making his first trip ever to our nation's capital. He's been sworn in, voted, and begun to decorate his office. I was there every step of the way, and in the first of 3 series, we will look at McAllister's new office on the road to Washington. This is a sound Congressman Vance McAllister is still getting used to, walking to his office in the House of Representatives, formerly occupied by Rodney Alexander.
Rodney's football helmets and all that stuff are gone, but it was, it didn't take long for my family to rearrange all my furniture whenever they came in.
Thursday morning, before being sworn in, McAllister was presented with his name plaque, making reality set in.
There we go, man.
But for Congressman McAllister, this was his first time to Washington and his first time in his new office. But luckily, it wasn't the first time for his chief of staff, Adam Terry.
We showed him where the light switch was, literally.
Now for Congressman McAllister, this isn't just an office or just a desk, it's a piece of history.
There's a picture taken in this office that I put up in the window with President Gerald Ford when he was in the House of Representatives. And this office, Cannon 316, was his office. So I thought that was, obviously the plant's not still alive and in here, but the walls are still there. And I think that's pretty doggone cool that I'm sitting in the same office that one of the presidents that you found the statue downstairs of had at the same time.
But for now, McAllister is still the new kid on the block, and he says that doesn't intimidate him.
But one thing about old Vance McAllister, y'all find out there's nothing I'm scared of. So whatever I can do to help and whichever way I can help, I'm here for the people.
McAllister says he's already begun work for his people, the people of the 5th District. In Washington, D.C., Hilary Hunt, KNOE 8 News. Now McAllister has a little time to get acclimated because Congress will not resume session until after the holiday. On Monday, we'll take a look at his family's reactions to the new position and their first time in the capital city.
Hilary, talk to us a little bit about the trip. What was it like getting to be there with his family and there on their first trip?
Well, I mean, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience because when you go with people who have never been, and especially on circumstances like this, everything is heightened. The energy is, and just all their reactions to the monuments and being able to actually see a congressman sworn in is honestly a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And when you're in the House and everyone was congratulating him, it was just so awesome to kind of see the start of the campaign to the finish.
Absolutely. All right, thank you, Hilary.
So much.